And into the north we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast. As always, I'm Don the Jeweler, and rolling with me is my man out there in Manitoba. He was chugging mega pints right before he came on air tonight. Corey Chan, how you doing, brother?
Going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm super excited. It's Mother's Day this weekend. Shout out to all the moms out there.
Shout out to all the
We got
moms.
nothing but love and respect for what you do. We appreciate y'all, and we hope you're spoiled rotten.
Absolutely.
And in that spirit, we're going to have a very special mom on today. It's our second guest on the show. Not only is she a great hand in the kitchen, but she's entrepreneurial and she's got some stuff up her sleeve too. That's not just cooking food. Let's check her out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have this guest here today. I could think of no one better to be on for our Mother's Day special. Corey, are you excited?
I'm super excited to have this woman on our
so
podcast today.
Madam, what's the name and where you from?
My name is Lorrie Cloudsdale. I'm from Lachine, born and raised in Montreal.
Yeah, you are. What's up, Mom?
Hey.
How's it going, Ma? How you doing?
Thrilled to be here.
Great to have you. Great to have you.
Yeah. When we were trying to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do for guests coming up? We're like, wait a minute, Mother's Day's coming up. Let's get Lorrie on.
Right on.
Yeah.
Because couldn't ask for a better guest for Mother's Day.
Have you been watching up until this point? Our little intrepid journey so far.
Absolutely every episode.
Yeah. Awesome. I bet you're just dying to get on here and school us a little bit. Actually, you boys were wrong in episodes 3, 6, and 7, but
No, I'm not that harsh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure to have you here, though, Ma. We're truly happy to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and it's we're trying to make sure we touch all bases with we're going to have a bunch of different guests on with a bunch of different fields of expertise and different fields in their repertoire too that make the conversations interesting. And we had someone talk about music. We want a true blue cook to come in and tell us answer a couple of questions for us.
I loved the Shaki episode.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thanks.
I'm sure she's going to love the Lorrie episode, so let's get her rolling.
Yeah, right. Here we go, Ma. We got a couple questions we're going to ask you here. First one I got for you is what got you into cooking? Like, what was it that got you started? What got you hooked?
I was very, very close with my mom, and she was an awesome cook, self-taught as well. And I was probably maybe 4 or 5 the first time I really cooked something, and I'm pretty sure it was scrambled eggs. And probably a mess, but that's okay. It's all good. Yeah.
Great. That's great. I know my first time cooking in the kitchen wasn't very clean either.
Yeah. My first time was all right, but I was like 31. So it was... I'm telling you, you make me want to expand my repertoire.
No kidding.
I love that.
Every time I cook something new or interesting, I love telling you about it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I could make grilled cheese, scrambled eggs, boiled pasta water. The water. I don't know how long to leave the pasta in there. I can make sure the water's hot.
I could make some craft dinner, and gourmet with some sausages. We're good.
Oh, forget me. Slice up the wieners, nice and thin.
Little ketchup on there, you're good.
Yeah.
Well, I got something new coming up. Do you want to continue with questions, or do you want me to chit chat about what I've got going on?
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we got.
We need to get to know you first.
Yeah, we gotta get to fill you out. Gotta get people to fill you out here and figure out who you are and what you're good at. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to cooking, right? What were one of the first things you learned to do by yourself, like in the kitchen itself?
Well, I cooked for the family a lot, and so learning how to coordinate everything to make sure everything was ready at the same time and hot and things like that. That was a learning curve. That's a big deal when you're learning to cook.
For sure, eh?
Yeah.
Like to touch back on scrambled eggs, like when you're cooking everything else for breakfast, eggs are last.
Right.
Because they cook in seconds.
For sure, absolutely.
And portions too, making sure there's enough for everybody.
Yes, that makes sense too. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Like when it comes down to cooking, it's like being a scientist, a chemist or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's there's a science to it for sure. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, there's so many levels, right? Like spice and herbs and stuff. That's right down on the molecular level. But how big you need to chop it up and how long you need to leave it on the heat. That's a whole other aspect of it.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, like when you're cooking like savory meals rather than baking, baking is a true science because it has to be exact ingredients. Whereas if you're
Yes.
when you're making like a sauce or you're making, like a stew, you can play around with the amounts and
For
you know.
people who might not know, what exactly is savory?
Savory means like not sweet, like not sweets like baking. Savory is like a meal, like uh, roast stews, curries, whatever. A main dish, but savory. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Savory
Okay. All
versus
right.
sweet. That's the
Yes.
easiest way.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
There we go.
when you were figuring out the first things to really do in the kitchen, what exactly, how can I say this? What did you think about approaching new dishes as someone only on their way up?
I was never afraid to experiment. I always liked to play around with flavors, and that's
Mm-hmm.
actually one of my strengths because I can, kind of like Iron Chef it and say, give me all these ingredients and I'm going to make something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really my answer because, and I love doing that. I love taking something and making it something different.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
yeah,
That's yeah. It's great that like you can take a similar ingredients, but you can totally do something opposite with it. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like that's
Yeah,
that's a talent actually. Really, that's a talent.
yeah.
For sure. For sure. But here I got another one for you here. What was the first dish that you impressed yourself with?
Well, in recent times, I made kimchi and it blew my mind.
Nice. Like you actually made the fermented cabbage
The
yourself.
whole deal from start to
Oh,
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
please tell me you made some kimchi fried rice with that. Please tell me.
Oh yes,
So
absolutely.
good.
Funny
So
you
Kimchi.
should
good.
say that.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
yeah, absolutely.
Love,
But
love that.
What about in the day? When
back
you
in the
like the first
day,
time you tried something that you thought was tough and you actually nailed it.
probably beef Wellington way back because it's kind of a fancy schmancy meal. And
It takes some time to do that for
takes a
sure.
little time. It's not that it takes that much time, but really the different steps to it. You really have to follow to make it nice. And
Gotcha.
so I think the first time that I really succeeded, and also the thing with beef Wellington is not everybody likes well done, and not everybody likes medium well or rare. So you want to have something for everyone. So cooking it at the right temperature and the right amount of time is special.
That's
Yeah.
that excuse me, that's taking all the different levels of cooking like we just spoke about, and you have to be good at all of them at once.
Right.
Literally putting them
Because
all
there's a
to one.
pastry element, there's a great piece of meat element.
Mhm.
Neither of them cook at the same speed.
Right.
Nope, for sure. That's
Yeah.
definitely got to be a challenge for
So,
sure,
so
right
for
there.
that one, like it may be it's just a perfect example of a savory meal,
Was gonna
and
ask, yeah.
yeah, it's a perfect example
With some
actually.
gravy.
And yet there's pastry involved, and as you
Yes.
said, like making sure that it doesn't overcook because that is the pits. Like
Yes,
terrible.
that could ruin the
That would
meal
ruin the whole
altogether
thing,
right
and
there.
then you spent
Yeah,
all that time and money for nothing. So
for nothing. Yeah,
Is that a gatekeeper meal? Like when people want to talk about how they're a pretty good hand in the kitchen, like if you can't do a decent beef Wellington, you're not really in the convo.
I'm gonna say
Like there's
yes.
tiers to this thing,
You
you know?
know,
like that. Yeah, that puts you at a certain level, right?
I think so. I think so because it has all those elements. Like absolutely.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Makes total sense. Absolutely, absolutely. I got a heavy hitter right now for you. A good one. We got to get on this question for sure. I've been excited to ask you about this question.
Oh, geez.
So here we go. The famous Lorrie meatballs,
Yes.
a Christmas tradition enjoyed by all who have tried. I'm blessed because almost every time I come down, you go out of your way to make me them. I just yeah I love them. They're truly truly truly
Meatballs
amazing.
feel like home.
Yes.
What by any chance like what is the origin of them? Like where did you like come up with this
Who
flavor?
invented the meatball, Lori?
Where did it come
I
from?
would
Yes,
love
where
to
did
say
you
that I
get your
did.
ideas?
I would like to say that I did invent it, but I did not. And it's a pretty interesting story. When I first met my husband, his mom, actually, it was the very first time that I met her.
Okay.
And I was actually meeting all the family at once, and very new in our relationship, before we were ever married. We had this get together, and she brought all these ingredients, and my ex husband had said, "Listen, she's gonna show you how to make the meatballs." He comes from an Italian family, and if you don't know how to make the meatballs, well then you got a problem.
Forget about it.
Go
Forget
on,
about
go
it.
on.
And of course, luckily, I love to cook, so I was not worried about it at all. I was excited. But I can just,
Nice.
I thought about it after, and I thought, man, what if I hated cooking? That would have been torture.
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
over the years, I have sort of like switched things up to make it a little bit healthier than back in the day. But we're talking back over 30 years ago. So I've had time to perfect it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, 'cause
I've definitely witnessed the changes as they go along throughout the years, for sure.
Yeah.
And every time it's just, mwah.
Those meatball
Perfection.
subs, eh?
Oh, it's so good,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
If you haven't had one, you got to try it. They're phenomenal people. I'm telling you. If you're
Well, is it-
ever in Montreal, hit them up.
Was it born out of Christmas and it stuck around Christmas time, or did you decide to put it on there because it's a great time of year to do it?
Actually, it was their family tradition. Normally, Italians eat only seafood and fish on Christmas Eve.
The seven fishes.
But because they were kind of like,
But there's always a lasagna for some reason. Like
but
if you're
not,
not gonna
but
eat
not
the seafood.
meat. No,
Yes.
like if
Okay.
you're sticking to the tradition, there's no meat.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that my mother-in-law was French Canadian, but my father-in-law was Italian,
Mm-hmm.
and so they sort of were a blended family. So they didn't really stick to like the real tradition, but they always had to have the meatballs. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a tradition in their family to always have it on Christmas Eve, and I just carried
Mm-hmm.
it on, and I've always carried it on even now. So
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Nice.
There's a lot of work's gone into it. There have been years where Joey said, "Yo, we're gonna do the meatballs. Whoever comes." And
Yes.
and in those moments where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. That's what keeps tradition alive.
you know,
sure.
we're not,
It's not
talking
fanfare,
about
it's give
little
a F,
meatballs here either.
No,
we're
no, no,
talking
no, no.
about big meatballs.
Like a
This is
nice
serious
sized
business.
meatball.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
good.
so
Like this
it's
is
a
an
lot of-
all-day adventure for you. Like
it
it's an
is.
all-day
I
adventure.
used to
Yes.
start the day before because of course it has to cook all day,
Sure.
right? It has to simmer
gotta
all day. It's part
The
of it.
sauce has to get
But I
right
used
to
to
the.
have like 2 huge stock pots on the stove and a big
Oh,
roasting
yes.
pan in the oven.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I remember.
Yeah.
The flavor that the
Just
smells
of
that come out
sauce.
of your apartment. Oh,
Pardon?
Just of sauce, or no, the meatballs. at the
Meatballs
same time
and
too.
sauce.
Oh yeah, that's true because you don't fry them first though. If you're gonna cook them for
Well,
that many
no,
hours, right?
you do. You cook them first, but just so they stay formed.
Yeah.
They don't have to cook through.
The shell
Yes.
holds in the beauty of the meatball on the inside.
Right.
yeah, because I mean,
Fantastic.
every meatball you bite into, there's so much moisture inside. I mean, it's just so
Well,
so
they're
good.
tender.
It's not,
That's the thing, right?
Yes, they're not
and
dried out or
and that's
nothing,
the
you know, they're just
recipe.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the
But
recipe.
it also the party's fantastic because we're all there, we're all socializing, and you feel a mite peckish, you eat like a half meatball sandwich, and you get back to business.
Yes,
It's
that's
so
it.
good.
And that's
It's
the
so
fun.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yep.
We
like,
had
oh
one
man, we've been drinking too much. Let me take 2 bites of a meatball and get back to the party. Like,
Right, you're good. Let's go.
No. Yes, absolutely. So good. And they're also good the next day when you're feeling rough too.
You were gonna say, Ma?
Forget what I was going to say now. Oh,
Anyways,
I've got short-
God bless tradition.
short story about the meatballs.
Absolutely.
Is that one year, God, you kids were small. You were like maybe 10, 12 at the time. And we had a bunch of our friends our age, all the mums and dads. Probably, actually, in fact, I'm sure that your mums and dads were there. And I had counted that I had all these meatballs in the oven on top of, in excess, other than the ones that were on top of the stove.
Reserved meatballs?
Yeah, because I
Just
knew
in
that
case the
his
first wave can't get it done.
Yes, because I knew that my ex-husband's family was coming, and I wanted to make sure that there was still some for them because they never came till like around midnight.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm good. I'm doing all my stuff, and I'm not checking what's in the oven because I think, okay, they're in the oven. Well, I see that most of all the meatballs on top of the stove are gone, And I'm like, I'm cool. And then they arrive and I open the oven to get out the meatballs that are in there, and they were almost gone too.
Oh, no way.
Yes. I was like not happy.
People just digging in.
They were, well, you get a few happy glasses going there, and
For sure, for sure.
Look, at the time, Corey and I were not old enough to pull off a meatball heist, so we just blame our dads.
Definitely not
it was
us.
definitely the adults. It was absolutely the adults.
For sure, for sure.
I'm not saying we weren't planning meatball heist. I just don't think we had the skills at that age to execute the way we would have wanted.
We wouldn't have been able to pull that off. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Definitely no way.
And where are we gonna run to? We don't have keys to the house. We're 11. Like, go hide at Corey's with the meatballs.
And it just covered sauce all over the face. Like, oh man.
We're in the back lane.
Just fucking eating meatballs left and right. Oh man, too good. But yeah, the meatball subs you got though, those meatballs, they're fantastic, Ma.
Well,
Love them.
they're perfect handheld portion. You've got this the small bun. You throw a meatball in there and you're off. Like there's no worries.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
And it gives people the motivation to start new traditions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're able to keep regular ones alive, traditions are born from other traditions.
Well,
absolutely.
My thing is, food is love, right? And that's how I show my affection for people and
food is love.
Well, you do a fine job, that's for sure.
When you cook a dish for somebody you love.
Yeah, exactly. Too good, too good. Yeah. All right, Ma. All right, let's move on to the next question here.
Okay.
I noticed over the last few years you've really dove into making Asian food from scratch.
Yep.
And just wondering what parts have been most challenging and which were most rewarding.
I love Asian food and I talk about it often.
So do I.
When you start talking about the kimchi before, I'm like, Ma, save it.
It's okay. I got more to say.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I really like to do things authentically as possible. So I'm not someone who's going to go buy a jar of sauce and pour it in and call it Asian food. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Sure. I'm someone who likes to do from scratch. I'm going to go and get all my ingredients that I can, authentic. And some things, like I love Korean food. I'm probably going to say one of my absolute favorites is Korean food. I have made many different dishes. I think that the hardest part is sometimes getting the ingredients.
Fair enough.
That is something, like, it's getting easier because I find that now we're getting more and more Asian markets in our area in Montreal.
Yeah, okay.
And so really I think, and honest to goodness, like, YouTube is my best friend because I will go, if I don't know how to make something, I'm going to go and I'm going to research it. I'm going to find those recipes and I'm going to mix and match until I get the right.
For sure. It just gives you a starter and then you just add your own little twist to it, right? And then boom, you're off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could be ambitious, but like if you don't have even the slightest bit of a roadmap, how are you going to attack the goal, right? But now with YouTube, you could actually not only find the proper ingredients for these dishes that, you find interesting that you want to try, you could actually see techniques.
Yes. And another thing is that I have been to a few Korean restaurants. And that was a big help too, because I got to taste what it's supposed to taste like. Now I know that's what it's supposed to taste like, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, that definitely helps out, right?
We had a beautiful restaurant that we used to go to for birthdays, and sadly they closed, and it was a very sad day in our house because we were supposed to go there for my birthday and found out that it had closed. Well, we were I was devastated, frankly.
Joey, what was the name?
Shehwan.
Yeah. Shehwan.
Yeah, Shehwan.
Shehwan. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was right across from Momeso's.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right on.
Their fried chicken was banging.
Oh boy. Yes. But that was so fun to see that. We did the Korean barbecue the first time we went. And that was super fun for me. And even then, like, now when I look back and I think of what I did with, like, how I ate it and stuff, it was not correct.
Okay.
And I would know better this time. if I went again to that, but to Korean
Gotcha.
barbecue. But
Gotcha.
you know, I have a big bucket list for restaurants I want to go to. So
Oh, for sure.
Same here.
Yeah.
So many restaurants I'd like to try out still.
Yeah.
It's just I don't think I'll ever get to eat at all of them, but I'm gonna try.
yep.
You know what I learned from eating at that Korean restaurant? How soju is a sneaky beverage.
Isn't it though?
Because
I'm
we were
pretty sure I
there.
only had one little bit.
Yeah, well, we didn't. It was a birthday,
Yeah, I
and
know.
and I am notorious for over celebrating Joey's birthday.
Right.
Joey has a
doubt.
good time on his birthday. I go, I go 15 on 10. Yeah, the soju because
We had fun, though.
it's almost like water, right? Like it's not water, but it doesn't. It's not a ton
You
of
don't
flavor
realize.
to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
like what is it exactly? Like is it like a rice type something or like
It's
really
like a
sure.
Korean sort of wine, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, is
wine
it-
to like spirit. Like
it's nothing like
for
a
me, it
sake,
didn't
right?
seem like wine.
Kind of in the same vein as sake, I guess, but like I'm sure there's techniques that make them distinct from each other,
Okay,
like
okay.
ingredients and stuff. But yeah, think sake, but
Okay,
in these
yeah.
super small green bottles, and oof.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Nice.
So it according to Google, it's a distilled spirit from Korea that's traditionally made from rice. So you were right, but it can be made from sweet potato, barley, or wheat,
Okay.
and the clear alcoholic beverage is sometimes called Korean vodka.
Korean
So it's
vodka.
sort of like that's why I said it. To me, it wasn't like wine. It was
Okay.
more like
Spirit.
Yeah, but it's like there's no burn, but the attack is like it's subdued. It's like hidden.
sneaks up on you.
Yeah, the Korean Trojan horses. Yeah, yeah.
Right on. Right on.
That was a good
Oh
time.
man. All right.
And the hold on. I don't
Yeah,
want to
what's
let
up?
this question about Asian food go by without talking about the Coco Curry.
Haha. Yes.
How do you
Please
get it so fluffy? Tell us
Please,
what the dish
please,
is.
please
and-
explain this Coco Curry first off. Let's hear this.
This is the one time that you're gonna find that Lorrie used a blend. Okay.
Okay,
of
fair enough.
but it's a paste. Okay.
Okay.
Comes in a package of 4, and actually Coco Curry is a chain of restaurants actually in Japan.
Okay.
It's a Japanese dish, and it's absolutely yum. You can get it in different, spice levels.
Okay.
And the fun thing about those restaurants is you can pick and choose from a huge array of different things for your meal. So you can choose rice, you can choose noodles, potatoes, different vegetables, different meats. But
Okay.
the basic sauce is like it's almost like a gravy,
Okay.
but it's got
okay.
that beautiful curry flavor, but not Indian curry, and not. It's really actually kind of hard to explain because it's not
It's
Indian
sweeter
curry.
than curry.
Yeah, it's a little sweeter.
So nothing like a green curry soup flavor at all, or
No.
Okay,
But I'll
totally
tell you,
different.
it's kind of a yellow curry actually.
okay. Okay.
But I'll tell you that like I also like make it with you actually use a little bit of mirin, which is sweet.
Okay.
Mirin is like a fermented liquid that it's almost kind of like a wine, but it's sweet, and it's used
Okay.
in a lot of Asian
Cherry?
food.
Oh, nice.
So you fry up some onions. Sometimes people will do it as a stew, so they'll make up the gravy. They'll put their meat, whether they're making beef or chicken, and then they'll add potatoes and carrots and onions.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
can make it like those. I wish we had something like that here. That's one of the amazing things I would love to visit in Japan. Definitely is one of those restaurants.
How did you come across? How did you come across this Coco Curry? Like, where did you first hear or taste this?
We follow. I follow a Canadian couple who moved. First, they lived, I think, in Korea, and then they moved to Japan. And of course, the name escapes me right now. Oh, yes, Simon and Martina.
Okay.
Anyway, they're a couple, and they moved there, and they're amazing. They do mukbangs. They do vlogs. They do all kinds of fun stuff. But they're not together anymore, so now it's Simon or Martina.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on.
And their presence is online. They're not on Food Network or anything.
No, just YouTube. But
Cool.
they're
Okay.
hugely popular, like hugely popular.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
Japan is one of those like bucket list things where like I think my head will just explode.
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
just-
for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. My head would be panning back and forth like the whole time I'm there. There'd be so much to see and look at. I'd be so like all over the place.
That's a bucket list item for sure.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
the wild stuff
Destination.
we see come out of Japan, and that makes us so excited. It's just old hat to them.
It's
But
Yeah.
then they're like seeing North Americans, I guess.
and you have to go at cherry blossom time for sure. I would anyway. I would
No
have
kidding,
to.
eh?
Yeah.
No kidding. No
Yeah.
kidding. No kidding.
Fantastic.
All right, Ma. Well, we've noticed lately you've been quite active with live streaming your work and your Epicure brand, and Epicure brand in the kitchen, that is.
Yeah.
Tell us about how it started and how it's going right now.
Well, I've been with Epicure about 11 years, and it started that I was a really big super fan, and I used to host parties all the time and have people come to taste the food and place their orders, and I used it all the time. So finally, my company closed, and my consultant kept telling me, Lorrie, why aren't you selling this? You know, like it's something that you love. You'd be great at it. You do the parties for me. So, why don't you do it so that you're getting the benefit from it? So finally I said yes.
Nice.
And I sort of coasted through, sold to family and friends, did some parties for people, had open houses at my house, always loving it, right? Always enjoying it. And then the pandemic hit and we had to pivot because we used to do in-home parties, right? We used to go to people's houses. So now with the pandemic, we became virtual, and suddenly it was right up Lorrie's alley because I love doing this. I started doing live classes on Facebook in my VIP group, and which is all my customers, and just really enjoyed it and started to build the team, and so now I'm a leader, and
It's beautiful.
it's good
That's
fun.
beautiful.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
For all those people at home, can you explain to them exactly what Epicure is?
Epicure
Don't know?
It's a direct selling company where you can order the catalog through a catalog or like either an online link to my website, or you can give me a call and I will place your order for you. And it's
all spices, right?
Yeah, spices and spice blends and meal solutions and cookware, and 100% gluten free. We have there's nothing on the ingredient list that you can't pronounce, and that's why I'm a big fan, because
I love the flavor of ditextryl 7.
exactly like
It just pops,
organic cane sugar. We all know what that is.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Paprika, yes, just paprika. That's it. Like low sodium, sugar conscious. Like ethically sourced in stuff. It's just
It's fantastic.
It's a good product. Yep.
I've definitely tried a few of your of their
yeah.
spices. I have a cupboard with a bunch of them in it, and they're quite delicious. They got this garlicky dill thing that I like to sprinkle on like roasted potatoes. It's just,
Absolutely.
oh my god, oh, so good, so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
GSP, baby.
GSP, yeah,
GSP.
exactly.
Yeah.
So good.
And
so
then,
good.
but taking your hosting of those parties and then going online and doing these things and the interaction, were you right out of the chute really comfortable with being in front of the camera, or did it take a little bit of time to really unlock your personality? Because we're at our 10th episode, and me and Corey are still trying to, really
Working
get
out
to
the
where we
bugs
want to
still.
be. So you've been
Yeah.
doing it for a fair amount of time. Did you see things unlock? Were you comfortable from the jump? How did you notice your progression went?
Okay, well, first I'm going to say that everybody who knows me, I'm authentic, and, I stutter. I look for my words sometimes even to this day, and I've done many, many, many of those live cooking classes. And
You're only
It's a real
human,
one.
right? You're only human.
yeah, but people enjoy that because I'm relatable.
Well, exactly, right?
Right.
You're being real. You're
and
being
I
real.
and
You're
I
not
say,
being around the bush.
if I can make this, you can make this, you know, it and make it fast, quick, and easy for your family. So that's really a lot of what it's about. And when I look, but however, when I look back at my first videos,
Yes.
I was a disaster.
Got to start somewhere, I guess.
I
though,
was
right?
like constantly trying to find the right angle, and oh my god, it was a mess. And you know, then I'd be watching, because when you're doing a live video, you can chit chat with the people, right? Well, they can write in chat, and I can read it. But then I'd forget that I was supposed to be looking at the camera and not at my laptop with the chat. So I'd be sitting there, you know, like constantly reading instead of looking at the camera. But
Learning curve.
but I'm much better now.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I've seen a few of those videos. You're definitely doing a good job. Definitely.
10,000 hours, right?
10,000 hours. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I got one last question here before I pass it on to Grant. What would you say is your Mount Everest? Your Everest, like your top notch there.
What
would
is
you
your
say?
Everest, Ma?
What is it?
In what
In
regard,
life and
though?
in cooking.
Yeah, in life and in cooking. Yeah.
In life is that I can be comfortable and not have to worry financially.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Because that has been the case before, and I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
You know,
hell yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
and
in the
so that's
kitchen?
definitely it. And traveling, that's something I absolutely want to do. I love to
for sure.
travel.
Had a blast with you in BC, that's for sure. That
Yes,
was great.
and I loved every minute.
Oh, so good. Rotododos.
Yes, the rhododendrons. Too funny. I had someone ask me about those actually recently. I'm like, oh, can I tell you about it? Because I love gardening, right? That's another thing.
Yes,
I'm a big
that's
gardener. I
another thing,
love
yeah.
gardening.
What is a rotododo?
Rhododendron.
Yeah,
Oh,
rhododendron.
yeah.
It was an inside joke with me and my sister.
Yeah, that's one of those big dogs there.
Yeah,
Rhododendron
rotododo,
ridgebacks. There.
It's that ancient dinosaur
Rhodesian.
bird.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah.
big dog.
Yeah.
My last thought.
So,
And yeah, Everest for cooking. What would it be?
oh my
In the
goodness.
kitchen.
Well, to be honest, I want a better kitchen. That's the first thing. I always think that
You totally swerved on me. I thought you were gonna name off some super elite dish. I like that.
no,
I like
I
that.
just
Sharpen the sword. Sharpen the tools.
No,
Ma.
no, I think it's the kitchen, because I feel like I have made miracles in my small kitchen, first of all.
Yes, absolutely. The
I
flavors
mean,
you've cooked out of
Making
that kitchen.
dozens. I used to sell bread. That was one of the other things that I used to do. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And I used to do I used to sell them. So I would do dozens and dozens. And you know what? There's only so much counter space in my house, in my kitchen,
Yep.
you know, like, and so I would have to like really brainstorm the steps so that I could get them proofed in the
Yes.
loaf pan, out of the oven.
But you still need a prep station, right?
Well, yeah, and like I said, that's why I'm like Tetris queen when it comes to the kitchen. So
This is why I think, honestly, Ma, that I think you would be truly amazing if you had your own like food truck, if possible. Because what you do out of that small kitchen there, you would be able to kill out of a food truck kitchen, no problem.
you
like,
know,
oh,
maybe 20 years ago.
fair enough. I understand that.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved it. Absolutely, I would have loved it. It would have been a real awesome dream. But I think at this point in my life, like, I don't think I would be up to that part of it. Would I want to run
ya.
one and maybe oversee it? And
Yeah, that would-
be
that-
nice. That would be fun.
No,
Like,
you're a
you know,
four
I'd like
star
to be a part
general
of
at
it.
this point.
For
Lord,
sure.
You're a general at this point. You give
Yeah.
out orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt though. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Really fun.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
need to do a YouTube video where we're just dying hungover in your kitchen and you tell the people how do you cure 3 giant lumps of garbage? Here's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner option.
Right. Yep.
And it cuts away office style. We're talking to the camera. It's just like, oh,
Too good.
fantastic.
Too good.
All right, so I have one question to end this portion of the show.
Okay.
If you had to go 5 courses. Devil went down to Georgia battle style against the devil for your soul. A soup. I don't know exactly what it is. A soup, an appetizer, an entree, a main course, and a dessert. Is that how it works?
I'll do my best.
Let's go.
What would your go-tos be? And if you don't feel comfortable giving an answer or a complete answer, we'll save that one for the next time you come back.
Okay. Well, I'll
do you
do
have
my
any
best.
offhand that you
I'll
go to?
start with the appetizer. Caprese salad.
Really?
Yep. And I'm not gonna, the thing is I'm not gonna go with maybe all one cuisine. Like I won't, like, just because I said caprese salad to start doesn't mean I'm gonna continue Italian.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Actually, I'll say a soup. I'll say leek and potato soup.
Ooh.
And while all this is happening, by the way, there's insane fiddle music playing and there's fire because you're battling the devil. So I'm just saying,
right.
just to put
So,
you
you
into
know,
the mind
right,
space
yeah.
of
Just-
what this
And
cooking
I-
experience will be.
I want to blow people's minds, right?
Yes, for sure.
So
'Cause if
I'm
you
gonna
lose, the devil
say
gets your
Korean fried
soul.
chicken 2 ways.
2 ways.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm gonna do the soy honey garlic, and I'm gonna do the spicy red with the Korean fried chicken.
That's-
Coming at you with that. She's coming at
spicy
you with
red
that
is
Iron
brilliant.
Chef win right there. She's coming for the
Oh.
Iron Chef right
Yeah.
there.
So that's 3.
Yeah. For dessert? I'm not strong on desserts, eh?
What do you like? What
It's
do
not
you
that I
like?
don't like them, but I want to say creme brulee, but I've never made one in my life.
Well, there's fire everywhere during this battle, so I mean, a creme
Yeah.
brulee wouldn't be a bad choice.
I don't know.
Ice cream would be because you're battling the devil for your soul. So
I would do something lemon. I would do like a lemon sorbet
Okay.
and some type of lemon tart with maybe lemon curd.
Ooh.
Yeah.
lemon's very cleansing, right?
Yeah.
It takes the meal off your mouth.
So good.
So I think that would be a great way to complete the. And so that's 4 pieces, and we're missing what the main course? Or no, that was the Korean fried
Well, I
chicken.
said the Korean
chicken
fried
2 ways.
chicken,
Yeah, 2 ways.
Potato and
Yeah.
leek
but
soup,
I would do,
caprese salad.
yeah.
Salad soup, chicken 2 ways, and then they did the.
I'm
she
gonna
did the-
switch that caprese salad to a
Ooh,
spinach.
here we go.
To a Asian spinach with mandarins and almonds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
see, I like it.
Oh.
I like it. So is
Oh.
that it? So we got the potato and leek soup,
Got the salad.
Asian almond salad with mandarins.
Yeah.
We got
Chicken 2 ways.
chicken
Green-
2 ways.
Yeah, Korean fried chicken.
Korean fried
Fried
chicken 2 ways. We have the lemon something
Yeah,
for dessert.
lemon sorbet.
And then, is there one more piece to that? How the people
Oh God,
traditionally
I
do
love risotto.
it?
I love
Oh, who
risotto.
Who doesn't?
And I'm
Who
good
doesn't
at
love
it now.
risotto? Who doesn't love risotto?
And I don't know what I would do because we really like mushroom risotto.
Mushroom is so underrated when it comes to flavor.
It is.
I literally just had risotto for the first time like a week and a half ago. Like the wife made a Cajun chicken risotto and it was just, oh my God, I need to have it again. Like so good.
you
Is it-
know, yeah.
It was so
It is so decadent. Like,
yeah.
so good.
I-
So
I
yeah,
was
Rich
like,
is what they would say,
risotto's
right?
gotta be in
It's
there.
thick
I
and
was just
tasty.
like-
and...
Oh, I was just like, where has this been my whole life? Like, what my parents have deprived me.
Isn't it very difficult to make risotto? Isn't it like a
It's
tougher
just
thing
a
to
little
make?
bit
Otherwise, it's
time
gonna burn.
consuming.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
That's all. And of
Because
course,
it's
when I
done
do
slow, right?
when I do the Korean fried chicken, I have to have the banchan, and banchan is like all the little side dishes that go with it. So you're gonna have the kimchi, and you're gonna have, spicy cucumber salad, and which is another favorite of mine.
So good. So good.
And
Oh,
if you lose, the devil gets your soul.
I'm winning.
All right. Yeah,
yes,
you are. Hell
Taking it
yeah.
home.
Yeah, we only have winners here on the Into the North podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Ma is not stepping down from that battle. All right. We're gonna wrap this thing up with this or that. It's a little rapid fire. Are you prepared?
I'm
Because
ready.
Good luck.
it's only hot button political issues
Oh,
and
Lord.
cancelable statements.
Let me get a
guy
sip
is
here.
great.
Hang on.
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
a sip here.
Yeah, your Instagram's already blowing up. People are furious with you. So,
Here we go. Here we go.
all right, Ma, this or that, sweet or savory?
Savory.
Mm,
Absolutely.
All right,
Yes.
that's fair. Because the range is so much bigger, right?
Yeah, and I'm just never been like, I like sweets. I like a nice dessert. But if
Yes.
you're going to make me choose, I'm always going to take the savory. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yes.
Do you prefer springtime or autumn?
Spring. Renewal.
Everything blooms, right? Yeah.
Renewal. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Paul or John?
John.
Ooh,
Imagine.
Was he as dreamy as Paul, but he was a bad boy, right?
I'll give you that.
I don't know. I just related to him more, I suppose.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. You know, you see it in their songwriting. I think we mentioned this during the Shaki podcast, the Shaki episode as well. You know, one guy was like, "Let's make hits, but still have something to say," and John's like, "I'm mad, but I'm gonna make it catchy as all hell."
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, this is a timeless one, and I'm sure you've heard Joey and I discuss this many a times. Cake or pie?
Yes.
It is one of the most divisive questions in the world.
Cake.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess you can't get them all right. It's fine.
My all-time favorite pie is key lime.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
You're
I
also
really,
talking
I
about
really
the
like a good cake.
S tier, S plus tier pie when you're talking key lime.
Yeah.
Like, what would be one of your favorite cakes?
I'm really old school. I really love a really good vanilla with vanilla icing,
Okay.
or I love a coconut cake. I
Nice.
like that.
Nice.
Of course, I love chocolate cake. I love chocolate, but
Double chocolate.
if
double
I'm
chocolate.
gonna say it's the only cake I can have, I'm gonna go with the vanilla.
Nice.
Yeah.
Corey,
Nice.
one time she made a World War II hard times cake because they had
How'd I-
eggs were in short supply back during the war, so they used Miracle Whip. Yeah, it's your story, Ma. You tell it. Sorry, I
What? Are you
apologize.
for real?
It's
Are you
real.
for real, Ma?
It's
What?
real. It's real. Well,
I know there's eggs in Miracle Whip or mayo, right? So, I guess that's a good substitute.
yes, and it's the fats in it as well because
Well,
there was
I guess
no butter, right?
So
No butter.
we're talking mayo, not Miracle Whip, because Miracle Whip's a dressing and it's got like that tangy.
No, we're
flavor to it.
talking real mayonnaise.
mayo. Yeah, like some good Hellman's
And
or something. Right?
that is still brought up to me how horrible it was, but it wasn't.
It's well, first of all, that during if you're in the trenches and here's a piece of cake, boys.
Well,
It tastes like
I mean,
back
it was
home.
meant for the people back home that they didn't have much, they were rationed and all that. So it was
Gotcha.
basically things that they could have a dessert, but not, not worried that they had to use any eggs or milk or
like, yeah,
that you
it
ordinarily
tastes like
would
hard
use or
times.
butter. Tastes like hard times.
Yeah, it tastes like things.
You
aren't
guys
exactly
ripped me
on the
about
up.
that forever. I'm never gonna live
But it was
down.
ambitious.
I'll
Hey,
tell you.
forget
I'll tell
about
you
the
what.
date.
That
Wow, it was
recipe.
ambitious.
hey,
That was
yeah,
not a
but it was-
family recipe, by the way.
It was
No.
probably something you couldn't, that was, not that bad, and you were able to wash it down with some good whiskey anyway. So it didn't
Well,
really
absolutely.
matter, right?
Well, no, she's like, "Hey guys, I tried this crazy new recipe," and then me and Joe took a bite, and we're like,
What's in there?
Not so much.
"It's not that it was bad. It's just it's not supposed to be delicious. It's supposed to be, a sweet to break you out of the horrors of the war. Like,
Right. Yep.
not supposed to be a Ferrero Rocher. Like,
Well,
If-
my
if-
mom and dad went through the war. Like I was born late to them, so like my dad was overseas during the Second World War and the whole deal. So my mom did have an actual cake that we used to have that they made back then, and it was called a wacky cake. But it was more like it was like a little bit higher than a brownie,
Okay.
But
Okay.
there was no eggs in
Iron
it.
quality?
There was no milk in it. There was no butter. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but we loved it. We loved it. Absolutely.
that's
Right on.
delicious.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right. Do you prefer the sunrise or the sunset?
Love a good sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So good.
See,
So good.
I'm quite partial to the sunset as well.
Yeah.
All right. Pirates of the Caribbean or Aquaman?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
damn.
He did not.
Listen. I love Johnny.
I'm asking her about the movies.
I love Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
What are you doing?
Jason,
Come on.
don't make me choose.
I know. Well, okay. Well, so then let's eliminate them and let's look at the rest of the people in the movies. All right. Cool.
I'll give you it. Yeah.
I love that Orlando Bloom.
I love that Orlando Bloom.
Julia Child or Chuck Hughes?
Oh, Julia. Hands down. She was hilarious.
Nice.
I never really saw much of her. Like, what was her?
Well, I used to watch it with my mom. Like her
Was the cooking on par with the character?
Oh, she was an amazing cook, but it was her character. Her character was so genuine and whoa, like that's how she would sound, and she would be drinking the wine and
beyond,
throwing, dancing with the chicken, and she was crazy. Her episodes, and you know what? For being someone so iconic, there wasn't a huge amount of episodes when she was, what was it called back then? The Art of French Cooking or something? I don't know. But she had she had an amazing story. So
Okay.
she had an amazing story, and so I love Julia for sure. She's iconic. You can't. Chuck Hughes is cool and all, but he's no Julia.
No. Chuck Hughes. To be honest, Chuck Hughes seems like an arrogant prick anyway. But we're all good. Yep.
Oh,
Ooh,
He does.
keeping it real on Into the North, ladies and gentlemen.
He does, though. He does. I'm just saying.
I met him at the airport, and he says hi to people who work at the airport. So I could only really judge him on that.
I think he's cool, and I'd like to meet him, and I want to go. I haven't been to his restaurant yet, so that would be fun. But Julia is, a trailblazer. She brought French cooking to the people. Like my mom loved her. She used to watch her all the time, and that was another thing that my mom always loved, cooking shows. So I, of course, always watched them with her. We used to watch things like The Galloping Gourmet and who was also crazy, and Walk with Yan. So I got all that Asian influence.
I'm quite partial to Pasquale myself, but
loved him. Loved Pasquale. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, red or white?
White.
Pourquoi?
We're talking wine, right?
Well, yeah. Jesus, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm just making sure.
Exactly
I'm gonna
what you're
say,
talking about.
Okay, I say white because that's normally what I would drink, because I really don't like a regular Joe Blow bottle of red. If I'm gonna drink red, I want the real good stuff.
Fair enough. Yep.
So.
Okay.
Like Chateauneuf du Pape blew my mind. So.
All right,
that's good
check
stuff.
that out.
Yeah.
See, just saying white wine this many times in a short period of time, I already have a headache. Just us discussing it, it's making my head
I'm gonna
hurt.
say I'm not a big wine drinker, anyways. I like the hard stuff. I like rum. I like tequila, stuff like that.
Nice.
I'd rather have a mixed drink than a glass of wine. I'm not a big wine drinker. However, I love wine and food.
Yes, it goes hand in hand. It really does.
What's more interesting to cook with? I mean, there's a ton more flavor in red, but I'm sure white has its own charm.
Yeah, like if I'm doing a risotto, it's very nice if you add a little bit of wine to that. That's beautiful. When you're doing shrimp, same thing.
Rabbit, white wine goes well with rabbit.
Yeah, any of the white kind of like meats and stuff, but red has its place. It's awesome in a bolognese. It's awesome in a stew.
Oh yeah,
sauces.
So good. I've had some really good gravies made with a red wine in there. It's really
absolutely.
Good. Really good.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, it's grapes. Grape has tons of flavor, tons of really good sweetness, and really good lingering notes, if you will.
Yes, lingering.
All right, you ready for this one, Ma?
No.
Downton Abbey or Corey?
That's really hard. I have to pick Corey.
Of course,
It's my
you do.
legacy. I have to.
Absolutely, it is. So
You know,
I'm gonna
I
tell a
always
quick
say
story.
that I've been watching Corey
sorry, go
since
ahead,
I
Mom.
was in the womb. And I'm not kidding.
How long has it been on?
1960, and I was born in 61.
On since 60, really?
Yep. And my mom was watching it from day one.
That's crazy.
Because you see, like, all my grandparents are British.
For those who aren't hip to the lingo,
Yes.
Corey is Coronation Street.
Yeah.
Coronation Street, yep.
Yeah. And it's been on all those years, since 1960. Yeah.
My dad and my stepmom are a fiend for that show. Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday they watch it.
So I'm gonna tell a quick little story. When I was a kid, Saturdays would be so loaded with awesome stuff on TV. Then Sunday morning comes around and it's church, and then Coronation Street.
Yep.
And as a kid, I recognized it, but I didn't really care. And then time goes by. I end up getting really sick one weekend, and I wake up at a weird time on a Sunday morning. Turn on CBC, and I see these two really pretty ladies having a fight in a pub. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I'm like, I'm going to sit there and watch a little bit. And then the scene changes as two people talk about something, and they're British. So I'm like, this can't be. Boom, it's Coronation Street.
Yeah.
Just so happened to bring it up to Ma. She's like, I've been watching this forever. I would go over, and we would watch Coronation Street every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
For
That's awesome.
Jesus, it was damn near a year.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
I'm still watching it.
I
didn't
just
know
love
you
how I just love how they always end up at the pub. It's amazing, man.
Wouldn't it be
Well, the
nice if
pub-
we sort of had that around here? That would be so
Right?
fun.
Well,
our
it's the
local-
heartbeat of the neighborhood.
Our
You know,
local?
it's
Yeah.
like it's the place where everyone goes and they know they're going to be able to check in with everybody, and then they spread back out, and then they
That's
come
right.
back.
That's what the block's missing. The block's just missing a pub down the
It's
street.
true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Because that street needs a bar on it.
Can you imagine?
You know how much
Oh,
money
Lord.
you would make?
You know, I bet.
man, I'm in.
Yeah. If you think people's noses are in places they don't belong in the first place, man.
They don't even need that, though. Like, frankly,
Yeah.
they don't. They don't.
Imagine all the unattended beeswax that'll be floating around that place.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll get Lorrie in the kitchen. She can do all the food, man. It's
Yeah,
good.
forget
yeah. I'll
about
do
it.
the hot
Yo.
pot. Sure.
Yeah.
That's it. We're doing it.
I love Coronation Street. It's brilliant. It's something that I could always check back in, and it's much like something like Days. Most soaps, there's always legacy characters that you'd be like, oh,
Yes.
I remember who that guy is, and whatever the story is, you see which newer people are kind of connected to them story wise. Then you get to know them, and then you're right back in.
That's it. You know, it's
Right back
another
in.
thing, like it's a tradition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Couldn't get my kids to watch it, though. I don't know why.
You got one of them too.
Yeah, I got you, at least. But
One of the strays you took in.
Yeah, one of the strays, exactly.
Yeah. All right, and this is the last one. What is your favorite thing to make? Is it meatloaf, homemade pretzels, or bread sandwiches?
you. Now, we know there's a story here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course it's meatballs.
Meatloaf.
Oh, meatloaf, sorry. Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Of course it's meatloaf. I've made you meatloaf. I've yet to make your pretzel. Okay?
I have been, and to be fair, you telling me I'm not making you damn pretzels is fair every single time. But that doesn't mean I haven't asked over and
I know.
over and over again.
And I keep saying, I'm not making you damn pretzels.
Yeah.
However,
And what
you
exactly
know,
goes
like,
into a bread sandwich? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't make a lot of meatloaf anymore either, though, like, to be honest. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we would just scream it out. Ma meatloaf from Wedding Crashers. We wouldn't even mean it. We just scream it at you. You're like, I'm not making meatloaf.
yeah. It's true.
Ma, where's the meatloaf?
True story.
We have been blown away tonight. Thank you so much for coming on, Lorrie. We appreciate you being here.
Been a pleasure, Lorrie. Thank you so much.
Into the North is another episode better from having another sensational guest. And we hope you come back again soon.
Please do. Please do.
I absolutely will. I actually have a little something I wanted to share with you guys.
Exactly.
One of my
I
new
want to
projects.
say, what do you want to plug?
I have
right
a
ahead.
project, actually.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. I have I've started a new YouTube channel titled Lorrie's Home Kitchen.
Nice.
Nice.
And it's it's going to be really a labor of love because it's going to be talking more about me as a cook and how I've evolved and my favorite recipes and heirloom recipes. When I say heirloom, meaning passed down, so many, I have many, you know, I have a lot of people that I call my mentors in cooking, so I'll be sharing a lot of that. And
Like
favorites,
Julia.
you know, meatballs are going to be in there, so
For
no
sure,
worries.
for sure.
That's absolutely going to happen. I will have put the first video up.
When's that coming out?
It last Friday actually came out.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's going to be like, you know, a little better quality production, you know. So you'll see, sometimes you only see my hands making the food. Sometimes I'll be in front of the camera. I have a lot of projects and ideas for it. I'd like to do some like, you know, restaurant videos,
Oh,
reviews,
that's
stuff
great.
like that.
That
my
would
favorites.
be great.
That's
So-
great. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
That's right up your alley. That's
Yeah.
right up your alley.
You
That's
know,
awesome.
I think I kind of already do that. I do that a little bit, and I've been told so many times, Lorrie, do a food blog, do a food blog. And I'm like, you know.
It's the truth though. Like when I've seen you post things of places you've gone and eat whatever, and it's just like, oh my god, I need to go there now. Like I need to try this. Like
Well, I've kind
Most
of
of the
yeah.
so much interesting content comes from people recording a thing they would be doing anyways.
Yes, and
know?
like I recently went to a seafood restaurant. I think I posted it on my Facebook yesterday, and I took a video of the guy. You know, they come. It's like one of those seafood boil style.
yeah,
So I took a video as he was like pouring it onto our platter.
Oh, nice.
And I was so happy I did that because it's like a moment in time, right? And I just was like, this is gonna be fun. And like I'm thinking, you know, I might do some culinary gardening stuff too.
That'd be great.
I'm a big proponent of being frugal in the kitchen and doing things economically, so I have a lot to share for stuff like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
Well, we're gonna get the link up for that first video, and we're gonna pay attention.
yeah. So
I'll
Absolutely.
tell you what. We'll trade sub for sub.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You know, so my first video was last Friday, and the next video coming up after that will be the meatballs.
Whoa.
Now you can't
Right
give away
on.
too
Start
much
to
of the
finish.
sauce, ma.
Start to
Yeah,
finish.
not too much of the sauce. Don't give away too
Yeah, you
much
can't
of the
give away
sauce,
too
yeah.
much of the funk now, because
You know what? There's always that little bit of love extra. So
For sure.
You know.
For sure.
exactly.
yeah,
For
TLC
sure.
is the best ingredient in the world.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a
Ma.
pleasure.
It's been
Thank
fun.
you so
Real
much
pleasure.
for all this. I learned a whole bunch of stuff about food.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a
I
pleasure
love
having
that.
you here.
I
It's
love
been a
that.
pleasure. I wish I could give
Wonderful.
you a hug right now. I
Oh,
really
me
do.
too.
Well,
Miss
I
ya,
hope we
love
did.
ya.
I hope we did the Mother's Day episode proud.
Yes.
So-
I'm very pleased. Yeah, I had
Yes.
a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to
Excellent.
this one coming out and everyone
Yeah.
seeing it. This is gonna be good.
Me
It's gonna
too.
be good.
And this is gonna come out Mother's Day morning, so I'm
Cool.
really excited.
That's awesome. I'm going to share the heck
Yes.
out of it.
Yes, you are. Share, like, and subscribe.
So-
Let's
right.
go.
So to all the moms out there, stepmoms, foster moms, adopted moms, aunties that take care of the kids, just anybody who shows love, we
Yep.
appreciate you guys so much.
Love you guys.
Happy Mother's Day. For Lori, Corey Chan, I'm Don the Jula. Say goodnight to the bad guys.
We out.
Ma, meatloaf.
Meatloaf.